Hi, today we're going to make chocolate chip cookies. Fairly straightforward, hardly any ingredients. Hopefully we can find them in the shops and we can make them together. We've got some butter, plain flour. To be honest, in here isn't plain flour. It is in fact self-raising flour, but that's all I can get hold of at the moment. Caster sugar, I think the recipe says golden caster sugar. This is just regular caster sugar. That's what you need. 1 egg, baking powder, pinch of salt. I don't usually put salt in my recipes, but you can if you want. And chocolate. The recipe again asks for chocolate chips. I can't find chocolate chips. I've managed to get hold of a bar of chocolate, cooking chocolate. This is a high chocolate cocoa value percentage, so I shall chop that all up in a minute. And the recipe also asks for vanilla extract, but it's too expensive. I can't find any. I'm going to leave it out. So that's my ingredients. Equipment wise, we have got a large mixing bowl and a sieve, a saucepan, scales, a wooden spoon. We need a teaspoon, again, my ones from my Christmas cracker, a baking tray and some greaseproof paper, and of course oven gloves to get it out of the oven once everything is baked. Right, let's crack on. Okay, so now we've weighed everything out. I've got 200 grams of butter, and I'm going to actually start that off in my saucepan by melting it very gently. We just want to melt that off a little bit, okay? Okay, so this is all melted now. I'm going to put that in my bowl. That's my sugar. That's 225 grams of caster sugar. And I'm going to pour in my melted butter into the sugar and just mix that a little bit, just so it's incorporated nicely. And it's just a case of just adding all your ingredients on top. So with a sieve, I'm going to sift in 300 grams of plain flour, although this is self-raising, doesn't matter. And we're sifting that in to not really at this stage add air. When we make cakes, remember we sift often to add some air into our mixture. This is simply to ensure that we don't have any lumps in our flour, so that just gets rid of that. Okay, we're going to add some baking powder. Now, strictly speaking, I don't need it because this is self-raising flour. If this was plain flour, I would add definitely some baking powder to it. Self-raising flour doesn't really need baking powder. I'm going to experiment and see what happens. Whether these are going to really puff up, I don't know. But anyway, look, there is 1 teaspoon of baking powder. As I say before, I haven't got any vanilla extract, so I'm not putting in a teaspoon of vanilla extract, but I will put in a pinch of salt, which, as some of you know me, I never really use salt with this sort of baking, but I'm going to today just to see and experiment a little bit. Okay, that's going to be all mixed together. Incorporate all those ingredients really into butter. Now, while that's mixed through, I shall work on that a little bit more. Just want to point out to you, my bar of chocolate I have meanwhile chopped up into some little chunks. So I have got chocolate chips, really. That's 100 grams. That's also going to go into the mixture. Okay, mix that through a little bit. It's a good idea not really to add it immediately because the hot butter, the melted butter, sort of melts the chocolate, which isn't really what we want. We want chunks of chocolate. And last, but by no means least, we're going to crack in 1 egg, and we're going to add that, and that really just binds the mixture together so it really sticks. So can you see that? Looking rather gorgeous. What I'm going to do now is start kneading it a little bit with my hands. Okay, everything is mixed through now, and I'm going to get my hands in and just gently knead most of those ingredients together. The butter has been a little bit too warm for this mixture, and it's actually melted the chocolate. So the mixture now is more of a kind of a chocolatey mixture with the occasional chunk in it, but it's okay, it doesn't matter, it's all fine. But everything is now combined, all ready. You can knead it a little bit, but it's all ready to start shaping into some little balls of dough. So depends how big we want our cookies to be. If we want sort of medium-sized ones, I would suggest we go that size. That might give us a kind of medium-sized cookie. If we want to go for a real handful, that will probably give us more of a giant cookie. Okay, I think, knowing my family, we're going to go giant. And I'm just going to very lightly press it down. You could, of course, go dainty and go for smaller size ones, sort of walnut shape, walnut size, and go like this, similar to the size we have at college. But yeah, my family, I would imagine, want giant size cookies. So I'm going to go slightly bigger. And when you put them on your baking tray with your baking paper on there already, space them out nicely because they will spread whilst they're baking. Okay, I'm going to carry on doing that. Kind of look like beef burgers. Nice. As you can hear, the oven is currently preheating to 160. Once this is all done, I shall be popping them in the oven. So I am actually quite amused by these because they do look like burgers, but they are in fact cookies. So as you can see, I've made 10, 6 and 4. They're going to go in the oven. These are going to be giant ones. So the recipe does call for sort of like 10 to 12 minutes. These are going to be a good 12 minutes, I suspect. So they're going in the oven, preheated to 160, and I shall set my timer for 12 minutes, and I shall take a peek after 12 minutes. Okay, so the buzzer has just gone off, the timer. They are enormous, giant ones. My family will be thrilled. I'm just going to get them out of the oven now, switch it off. Oven gloves, remember, at all times. Look at these beasts. So these are our giant chocolate chip cookies, which we will leave to cool actually on the baking tray, on the paper. When they are cooler, I will then transfer them to the cooling rack, and they will be then ready to demolish. Happy baking, everybody. Please, please send me your photos and enjoy your baking. Keep safe, keep well, keep healthy. Remember to keep washing your hands, and looking forward to seeing you all as soon as we all can. Bye.